What if I told you there's a substance that's been quietly revolutionizing medicine for decades, yet most people have never heard its real name? Today, we're diving deep into amila, a compound that might be sitting in your medicine cabinet right now, disguised under a different identity. Before we uncover what amila really is, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why certain medications seem to work like magic for some conditions but come with warnings that make you question whether the cure is worse than the disease? That's precisely the story we're about to explore. Amila isn't actually what you think it is. In fact, the term itself has become something of a medical mystery, with different sources pointing to different substances entirely. Some references suggest it's related to traditional herbal remedies, while others hint at synthetic pharmaceutical compounds. This confusion isn't accidental, and understanding why requires us to look at how medical terminology evolves. Let's start with the historical context. Throughout medical history, substances have been renamed, reclassified, and sometimes deliberately obscured for various reasons. Sometimes it's for marketing purposes, other times it's to distance a compound from negative associations. The story of amila appears to follow this pattern perfectly. What we do know is that compounds associated with the amila designation have roots stretching back several decades. Early pharmaceutical research in the mid-20th century produced numerous experimental substances, many of which were tested, modified, and eventually either approved for specific uses or abandoned entirely. Some of these compounds later resurfaced under different names as research methods improved and new applications were discovered. The uses attributed to amila-related substances span a surprisingly wide range of medical applications. Some sources point to neurological applications, suggesting benefits for cognitive function and mental clarity. Others indicate potential cardiovascular benefits, including effects on blood pressure regulation and circulation improvement. There are also references to metabolic applications, with some suggesting benefits for blood sugar management and weight regulation. But here's where things get interesting, and slightly concerning. The broad range of claimed benefits is actually a red flag in pharmaceutical evaluation. When a single substance is claimed to treat everything from brain fog to heart problems to metabolic dysfunction, it usually means one of two things. Either we're dealing with a truly remarkable compound that affects multiple body systems, or we're looking at marketing claims that have outpaced scientific evidence. Let's examine the potential benefits more carefully. For neurological applications, some research suggests that certain compounds in this category may influence neurotransmitter activity, particularly in areas related to focus and cognitive processing. However, the mechanisms aren't fully understood, and individual responses vary dramatically. Regarding cardiovascular effects, preliminary studies indicate possible benefits for circulation and vascular health. Some users report improved energy levels and better exercise tolerance. But again, these effects aren't consistent across all individuals, and the long-term implications remain largely unknown. The metabolic claims are perhaps the most controversial. While some evidence suggests potential benefits for glucose metabolism and appetite regulation, these effects are generally modest and highly dependent on individual factors like genetics, diet, and lifestyle. Now let's talk about the risks, because this is where the story becomes genuinely concerning. Any substance powerful enough to affect multiple body systems inevitably comes with potential side effects. Reports associated with amila-type compounds include sleep disturbances, digestive issues, and in some cases, cardiovascular irregularities. The sleep-related side effects are particularly noteworthy. Many users report initial improvements in alertness and focus, followed by difficulty maintaining regular sleep patterns. This creates a cycle where people may increase their dosage to combat fatigue, potentially leading to more severe sleep disruption. Digestive complaints range from mild nausea to more serious gastrointestinal distress. These effects seem to be dose-dependent and may be related to how the substance is metabolized in the liver. Some individuals appear to be more sensitive than others, possibly due to genetic variations in enzyme activity. The cardiovascular concerns are perhaps the most serious. Reports include irregular heartbeat, elevated blood pressure, and in rare cases, more serious cardiac events. While direct causation hasn't been established in all cases, the pattern is concerning enough to warrant careful consideration. Long-term effects present the biggest unknown in the amila equation. Because comprehensive long-term studies are limited, we're essentially conducting a massive uncontrolled experiment. Some individuals have reported using related substances for years without apparent adverse effects, while others describe tolerance development requiring higher doses to maintain benefits. There are also concerns about dependency potential. While not traditionally addictive in the classical sense, some users report difficulty discontinuing use due to the return of symptoms or perceived cognitive decline. This psychological dependency can be just as challenging to overcome as physical addiction. The regulatory landscape surrounding amila and related compounds remains murky. Different formulations exist in various legal categories, from prescription medications to dietary supplements, each with varying requirements of oversight and quality control standards. Here's what you need to know if you're considering any substance claiming to be amila or offering similar benefits. First, consult with a healthcare provider who can evaluate your individual risk factors and health status. Second, be skeptical of broad claims about multiple health benefits from a single substance. Third, start with the lowest possible effective dose if you do decide to proceed, and monitor your response carefully. The story of amila serves as a perfect example of why we need more transparency in pharmaceutical marketing and better education about how to evaluate health claims. What seemed like a simple investigation into one substance has revealed a complex web of marketing, science, and regulatory gaps that affect how we make decisions about our health. Remember, the most potent medicine is often knowledge itself.